Welcome in, IllinoisPrep.com. Our first week of playoff football is done, and we're talking about it, starting with 5A. Just a quick recap here, top to bottom, if you're looking at the bracket. Morris, the 1 seed, 35-24 over Morton. Joliet Catholic, 48-14 over Lincoln Way West. Washington, 34-14 over Dunlap. Rich East, 28-15 over Metamora. Sacred Heart Griffin, 47-7 over Decatur MacArthur. Troy Triad, 38-13 over Marion. Chatham Glenwood, 51-21 over Carbondale. Normal U-High, 48-20 over Centralia, Eric's boys. Maple Park Kaneland, 51-45 over Belvedere. Wheaton St. Francis, 27-10 over Burlington Central. 43-41, Rochelle beat Urban Charter Prep. Sycamore, 36-29 over King. 42-20, Woodstock Marion over Chicago Robeson. 35-22, Tinley Park over Grays Lake Central. 18-14, Sterling over Julian. And Montini, 49-14 over Woodstock North. Oof. When I look at it, the first thing I see is, let's go to the biggest upset. We're in agreement on this one. Metamora, 5A powerhouse.
Yep. Upset
at home by Rich East.
And that's what surprises you about the game. Them being at home, Rich East have to come down. I mean, it's not that far of a drive, but I think when we talked about it last week, we were talking about how Metamora is one of those teams that if they made it all the way to the finals, we wouldn't be surprised. So for them to lose in the first round, it was a little bit surprising, especially to Rich East, a team we don't hear about that much.
Yeah, I think if you're Washington, even though you can say, well, Rich East beat Metamora, I mean that's a because by the way, Metamora beat Washington this year, so clearer path for Washington in my opinion.
And the thing about it is, it sometimes helps when you don't play that team on the regular basis. Washington and Metamora go against each other all the time, so the fact that they can see something different on the field might help Washington, might help Rich East. We'll see. Okay, most impressive performance. I have to go with the Lombard boys. They are just connecting on a whole new level, putting up 49 points on Woodstock. And not that we were surprised that this was going to be a win, because we pretty much had Montini for this one, but that connection between Westerkamp and Road is just ridiculous. I'm a little worried, but I didn't make it to the game, but I saw them tweet that Westerkamp may have banged up his wrist a little bit. Obviously, he came back. Obviously, a concern when he's the most productive person on your team.
For me, the Cyclones, Sacred Heart Griffin, 47-7, largest margin of victory. Some people like it, and Wabanzi care about that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think 5A is, when you look at it, the highest seeds are typically the ones that you see at the end. Sacred Heart Griffin is a team you always see in the semis, and obviously Montini. I think Kaneland is a team that got there last year, and that'll lead us really into the second round talk here. The first one at the top of the bracket. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings bet.
This is Morris, the Buffalo Wild Wings bet,
hosting Joliet Catholic. If I'm Eric Seals, I'm sweating a little bit. Only an 11-point win from Morris in the first round.
Yeah, it wasn't as impressive, but the way I look at it, which we differ a little bit, I don't care if you win by 1 point or a million points. As long as you get the win, I'm okay with it. A little closer than I thought it was going to be versus Morton, but it's going to be a heck of a game against the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, I'm feeling, 48-14 against Lincoln Way West for Joliet. I guess we're both pretty confident, but should be that's really one of the marquee games in any class in round two. Washington hosting the aforementioned Rich East, who sprung the upset. We both like the Panthers there. Sacred Heart Griffin, Troy, again, Sacred Heart Griffin I think they're going to the semis. Chatham Glenwood, team that made a deep run last year, they get to go to normal U-High, who sprung the upset over Centralia. What you picked against the U in the first round. You feeling confident now?
I'm sticking with what I did from the beginning of the week. I'm not changing anything. Okay, my goal is to have the state champion in every class, and so if it has to happen, it has to happen.
Maple Park Kaneland, Wheaton St. Francis. I think this is an interesting game. Maple Park Kaneland gave up 45 points to Belvedere, and Wheaton St. Francis can throw the ball a little bit. Any worries for Kaneland there?
Yeah, anytime you're giving up that many points, it's really either team can win type of thing. You always want your defense to be able to hold your team, under 15, 10 points if possible, to keep you in the game. But, man, when you score that many points, it can go either way.
Then you have Rochelle and Sycamore, a 13-12 matchup. So Sycamore gets the home game. I actually picked Sycamore to go to the quarterfinals, so I got that one. Then Woodstock, Marion, Tinley Park. Any looking at an upset there? Marion dominant, Tinley Park by 13 over Grays Lake Central.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have Marion in this game, and I think they're going to play Montini in the quarters. So I told you, I mean, you don't even have to ask me from this point. I'm sticking with what I go in the whole time.
And then, unless something drastic happens, this might be the biggest blowout of round 2. Oof. Montini goes to Sterling, but Sterling only beat Julian by 4. Montini's been putting up points in bunches.
And that's the thing. With them having that 6th seed, it's like the path that they have to take is I mean, they're used to having a lower seed and then coming to just slapping everybody. So, you know, anybody 5 through 1, I feel sorry for you guys because Montini's on a rant.
Yeah, again, it's not that it was only a 4-point margin for Sterling, but to beat Montini, unless your defense is just lights out.
Mm-hmm. Especially your secondary.
Yeah, Montini's going to hang 30 to 40 on you.
Yeah, maybe in a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I'm not even joking. Maybe in a quarter.
I mean, the question is, and obviously, anytime you're a skill guy, you got to catch the ball, handle the ball. A wrist is not the best injury to have.
No, it's not.
What's the sort of thing during the week in practice they're going to be looking for what? Not that they're going to sit him, but
of course not. I mean, they're a very experienced staff over there. They're going to know exactly what to do. They're probably, I mean, more than likely, that's the type of person on your team that, you know, he can take it a little easy in practice, not do certain drills and stuff, and he can come and play during game day. You know, everybody is not equal on the team. Everybody can go through different things. So, you know, by the time he gets on the field, he's going to be ready to go. More likely, I mean, they're going to tape him up. You know, the adrenaline's going to be pumping. He's not going to feel anything. After the game, he's got to ice it up.
And, I mean, Montini is such a dominant team, and Western Camp's such a big part of what they do. If you're Sterling, you would hope the coaches would never encourage kids to do this, but if you're a player on that defense, are you giving that wrist a poke?
It is football. Let's be realistic. It is football, and you know, even though it's a lower level in high school, it is something that you always have to think about. You know, if they know about it in Sterling, if I'm the corner, realistically, being a football player, I'm gonna be going at it every chance that I get,
slapping at it.
I mean, because realistically, it's all about trying to get to the next game, and if that's what I have to do, it sounds bad, but that's what someone's gonna do.
Yeah. So hopefully, the wrist isn't that much of a factor, and he's mostly healthy, and so it can take a little pestering by the opposing teams. There you have it, 5A, big time matchup. Morris JCA. We'll find out tomorrow what the game times are.
Yep.
Potentially one that we'll have to go to.
Oh yeah.
You know, if it's a Friday nighter. So still have 6A, 7A, and 8A to do. Enjoy the football, and come back and see us next time at IllinoisPrep.com.